Mr. President, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to address the Human Rights Council today and brief you on the outcomes of this year's high-level political forum on sustainable development, HLPF, held in New York from the 8th to the 17th of July under the auspices of the Economic and Social Council. Thousands of representatives from member states, UN system, and stakeholders all actively participated throughout our sessions, including the in-depth reviews of SDG 1, No Poverty, SDG 2, Zero Hunger, SDG 13, Climate Action, SDG 16, Peace, Justice, and Strong Institutions, and SDG 17, Partnerships for the Goals, and the 36 national review presentations by member states. These sessions not only highlighted how interlinked the SDGs are, but how closely they are connected to the imperative to fully realize human rights. The forum recognized poverty as one of the greatest global challenges and calling for addressing its root causes and ensuring access to essential services like health, education, and social protection based on human rights principles. Participants also highlighted the importance of inclusive growth, prioritizing economic sectors that create decent jobs and invest in human capital, particularly for marginalized communities. They recognized the need to reform the international financial architecture and called for debt alleviation to enable more public spending for sustainable development. We need a multi-pronged approach to tackling food insecurity that includes respect for biodiversity, diversified food resources, animal welfare, and the reduction of food waste. Participants also called for evidence-based policymaking to enable effective and sustainable investments to strengthen food security and transform nutrition systems. The forum discussed the links between climate action and human rights, with many participants advocating for a just transition to carbon neutrality, while ensuring that climate finance commitments are met and scaled up to meet the growing costs of adaptation and mitigation. They also supported nature-based solutions and ecosystem protection, strengthening efforts to develop and implement gender-responsive programs and policies, combat gender-based violence, human trafficking, eliminate discriminatory laws. These were all key focuses of our discussion. We noted with great concern that women's contributions to sustainable development, peace processes, and democratic institutions remain very much undervalued. And of course, we discussed the importance of people-centered justice systems that uphold democracy, the rule of law, and access to justice, including free legal aid and judicial independence, with sustained peace. These were all underscored. The promotion of meaningful and equitable youth participation at all levels, coupled with targeted actions to address the specific needs of children and marginalized communities, was also highlighted. Dear colleagues, the HLPF really showed us that the international community remains committed to finding inclusive, resilient, and science-backed solutions to addressing pressing global challenges and advancing human rights. But with the advent of new solutions and innovations must also come plans, real plans, concrete plans for implementation and action. ECOSOC is the inclusive platform for exactly these kinds of outcomes. We bring together actors across different sectors to identify and commit to action that is going to be transformative and can have a tangible impact in countries and communities. As president of ECOSOC, I'm committed to ensuring that we are leveraging these opportunities in an inclusive manner to promote action, ambition, innovation, and engagement. Indeed, one of the key themes of my presidency will be the crisis of displacement, an issue that is of critical importance to the human rights agenda. We need to ensure that the rights of those on the move are protected and that they are supported by regular migration and by pathways for refugee protection. Other key topics include artificial intelligence and the international financial architecture. These have to be front and center, while ensuring at the same time that gender and inclusion are cross-cutting themes across the work of the Council. With targeted outcomes on these issues, we believe the Council will be poised to raise the ambitions for our collective action. As we all know, next week the Summit of the Future will convene at the 79th session of the General Assembly. This is a crucial moment to take forward the progress from the SDG Summit through an action-oriented Pact of the future, with human rights at its core. The Fourth International Conference on Financing for Development in June 2025 will be another opportunity to help unlock financing flows and investments to close the SDG financing gap, which will, without any doubt, impact financing for human rights. And the Second World Summit for Social Development, also next year in the fall of 2025, is another critical milestone to promote key social dimensions of sustainable development, such as decent work, care, and the protection of the human rights of the most vulnerable populations, including women, young people, persons with disabilities, older persons, and indigenous peoples. Excellencies, I welcome the human rights community to engage in the work of ECOSOC through all of its activities. In turn, I want you to know that the Council is here to support the protection and the advancement of the principles of human rights. I look forward to the outcomes of this session of the Human Rights Council and to work together on an ambitious way forward that best supports countries, communities, and constituents to realize the future that they deserve. Thank you so much.